There's a person called Conor Tomlinson, and he's another broadcaster on GBNews, and he was being interviewed on Sky TV, and he was asked for his opinion about the Lawrence Fox story. He said that Lawrence should have a right, or has a right, or should be allowed to continue to broadcast on the principle of freedom of speech. He then went on to say it's not something that he would have said, but that he should be free to say it, and it should be the dwindling viewers who determine whether or not he stays on air. It should be about footfall rather than the punishment of Ofcom or the broadcasting platform. I think he's wrong. I think there are points where nastiness, which is what this was, get in the way of serious debate. And there was a serious issue to debate because Ava Evans, I think, was taking the conversation about male suicide in a direction which she said it was rash, and there was room for debate. That debate has been lost because of the stupidity of Lawrence Fox, and it's been eclipsed by the Lawrence Fox, Dan Wooten laddish behaviour. And that laddish behaviour is not... I'm using the word pointedly because I want to try to understand why they felt that they could do what they did, why they felt empowered, why they felt it was possible to exchange tweets afterwards, joshing each other and assuming that everything was fine, that they'd actually done a good job, when they'd actually crossed a major red line. Melanie Dawes is the head of OFCOM, and she's said that that OFCOM have started an investigation into that particular program and that exchange and that rant. But she says that the frame of reference that she follows, that Ofcom operates under, hasn't changed in 20 years. She thinks it's a good thing. I think it's a bad thing, because the media landscape in the last 20 years has changed beyond all recognition. And I think Twitter only came in recently. TikTok, even more recently. Was Facebook here 20 years ago? I don't remember. But I remember using the internet 20 years ago, and it was a different animal. And should GBNews move some of its programming onto a behind a paywall platform or onto something like YouTube, then again, Ofcom is not in a position to challenge it. Ofcom can't hold it to account because the rules of Ofcom are so determined. Ofcom sounds great, but it's covered in cobwebs, and where it's not covered in cobwebs, it seems to be too focused on its own importance to actually deal with the issues which are being raised. It comes across as tardy, even lazy, an instrument of government rather than a force for the people. And at a time when media is defining the debates that we are having, I think a catch-up Ofcom does nobody any favours.